pleased with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we might be a little shaky because we always so self-analytical that the first wrong note we go, oh.
Robert Plant is an English singer, songwriter, and musician. Plant's best known as Led Zeppelin's lead vocalist, but he's also enjoyed great success in his solo endeavors as well as with Strange Sensation, The Band of Joy, The Sensational Space Shifters, and Alison Krauss. His signature, powerful wide vocal range and his trademark high-pitched singing have led to Plant being regarded as one of the best singers in the history of rock and roll. And in 2009, a poll conducted by radio station Planet Rock named him the greatest voice in rock. Robert was named the greatest metal vocalist of all time by Hit Parader magazine in 2006. He came in at number 15 on Rolling Stone magazine's 2008 list of the 100 greatest singers of all time. Additionally, when Rolling Stone asked readers to vote for their favorite lead singers of all time, Plant took the number one spot.
So it doesn't matter. We tried returning to the small gigs disastrously once in England when everybody was going, big time, you know.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Robert Anthony Plant, CBE, but is also known as the greatest metal vocalist of all time. He was born on August 20th, 1948 in West Bromwich, Staffordshire, England, making him age 72 at the time of this production. He stands at 1.86 meters or 6 feet 1 inches tall. For an iconic sex symbol like Robert Plant, one would assume that he would always have dreamed of being some sort of musician, aiming for the world's stages. Well, as it turns out, Plant's early years were spent in books, with the rocker choosing stamp collecting as a hobby rather than music. Plant is interested in Welsh history. He donated money to the creation of a bronze statue of Welsh Prince Owain Glyndwr at Pennell Church near Machynlleth in Wales, unveiled in September 2004. In the New Year Honours List 2009, Plant was appointed a Commander of the Order of the British Empire for services to music, and on July 10, 2009, invested by the Prince of Wales. On August 14, 2009, football club Wolverhampton Wanderers announced that Plant was to become the club's third vice president. Plant officially received the honor before kickoff at the club's first match of the season against West Ham United. Plant was 5 years old when he first visited Molineux Stadium. He recalled in an interview with his local paper, the Express and Star, in August 2010, "I was 5 when my dad took me down for the first time, and Billy Wright waved at me. Honest, he did. And that was it. I was hooked from that moment." In 2020, Plant donated toward frontline medical supplies during the COVID-19 pandemic. The money went to the GoFundMe page of a small clothing manufacturer in Kidderminster, England, that makes scrubs for local hospitals. Plant married Maureen Wilson on November 9, 1968. The couple had 3 children, daughter Carmen Jane, born 1968, who later married Charlie Jones, Plant's bass player for solo tours, and sons Carrick Pendragon, 1972 to 1977, and Logan Romero, born 1979. The couple divorced in August 1983. Sadly, in 1977, during Led Zeppelin's U.S. tour, his 5-year-old son Carrick died of a stomach illness. The song All My Love, co-written with John Paul Jones, is a tribute to him. In 2010, Plant began a relationship with singer-songwriter Patty Griffin and moved into her Austin, Texas home. They split up in 2014 and Robert returned to England.
How do you maintain your voice?
I go to a lot of soccer games.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you learn how to chant, you learn how to be disreputable, vulgar, you meld with all your brothers and your voice gets really strong. It's a little muscle in here, you know.
Robert Plant was born Robert Anthony Plant on August 20th, 1948 in West Bromwich, Staffordshire, England. He grew up with mother Annie, father Robert, a civil engineer and Royal Air Force veteran, and sister Alison in Halesowen, Worcestershire. Robert loved singing and music as a child and wanted to be like Elvis Presley, trying to emulate him at just 10 years old. Plant attended King Edward VI Grammar School for Boys, but left in his mid-teens and became interested in blues music. At his father's behest, Robert began training to be a chartered accountant but quit after 2 weeks and moved out of his parents' home at the age of 16 to attend college and explore the local blues scene. He worked for Woolworths in Halesowen and Wimpy Construction Company in Birmingham, and he recorded 3 singles with CBS Records. Plant began singing with the Crawling King Snakes and other bands, which led to him meeting future Led Zeppelin bandmate John Bonham. Robert and John were in Band of Joy together before they both joined Led Zeppelin. Plant met Jimmy Page in 1968 when Page was looking for a lead singer for his band, the New Yardbirds. Jimmy asked Robert to join the band after hearing him sing Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane. The New Yardbirds later became Led Zeppelin and included Plant on lead vocals, Page on guitar, John Paul Jones on bass, and John Bonham on drums. The band signed with Atlantic Records in 1969. They released their debut album, Led Zeppelin, which reached number 6 on the UK charts and number 10 on the US charts. They followed up their debut with 8 more studio albums, including Houses of the Holy, 1973, Physical Graffiti, 1975, and In Through the Outdoor, 1979, as well as the 1976 concert film The Song Remains the Same. Led Zeppelin's 1971 classic Stairway to Heaven is considered one of the greatest songs of all time, and the band released several other popular singles such as Whole Lotta Love, 1969, Ramble On, 1969, Black Dog, 1971, and Rock and Roll, 1972. The band went on to sell an estimated 200 to 300 million records, and they disbanded after Bonham died of pulmonary aspiration in 1980. In the decades since Bonham's passing, Plant, Page, and Jones have occasionally performed together with John's son Jason on drums, and Page and Plant released 2 albums, No Quarter and Walking into Clarksdale, and toured together in the 1990s. Robert released his first solo album, the certified platinum Pictures at 11 in 1982, and recorded 5 more solo albums before forming the band Strange Sensation. He recorded 2002's Dreamland and 2005's Mighty Rearranger with Strange Sensation, then collaborated with bluegrass country singer Alison Krauss on 2007's Raising Sand, which went on to win 5 Grammys. In 2010, Robert Plant and Band of Joy released the album Band of Joy, which earned Robert 2 Grammy nominations, and he released Lullaby and The Ceaseless Roar 2014, and Carry Fire 2017 with the sensational Space Shifters. In the early 1980s, Plant formed the Honey Drippers with Jimmy Page and Jeff Beck. The band released the EP The Honey Drippers Volume 1 in 1984, and it reached number 4 on the Billboard 200 chart. Robert's most commercially successful post-Zeppelin album was 1988's Now and Zen, which went triple platinum in the US and gold in the UK. Robert launched Digging Deep, the Robert Plant podcast, in June 2019. On each episode, he discusses a different track from his back catalog.
So the people that you knew don't bother to go anymore, so you got this young bunch of guys going, "All right, Rob, what do you think, mate?" And all that, which is marvelous to me, and I well up with tears.
Robert Plant's net worth is $200 million. Plant once lived in an 11-acre estate in Penalt in the UK. He currently resides at Shatterford near Boodley in the Wyre Forest district of Worcestershire. Plant also owned property in Austin, Texas, while he lived there with Patty Griffin. The cars Plant has owned include an Aston Martin DB5, a Range Rover Vogue, a Toyota 2000 GT, an Audi S8, and a Bentley Turbo R.